All right, guys, we are live and we are on the screen. Welcome to MRG Sunday Evening Live. How are you guys doing? Oh, hang on. I'm losing your audio. Just a second. I got to bring you back up. That's why. Hang on, guys. 1 second. Lost your audio. There we go. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey.
There we go. Much better. All
Happy
right.
Sunday.
Hey, everybody. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
Hope everybody had a good day.
Yeah, I hope so. It's a beautiful day outside today in Long Island.
Finally.
Yeah. We don't always get that.
No, had my son today. He's in the other room, so I told him be quiet right now.
All right. So we have me, Joey, in the upper right today. Right? Right-handed power puncher. In the bottom right, we have Tommy. He's a southpaw. No, he's not a southpaw, really. There we go.
I'm ambidextrous, baby.
There's Tommy, who is the guitar player in Pump and also the Chris Pepe band, right? I'm pronouncing his name.
Sir.
He's not Chris Pepe, right?
Wow, he's on. I'm
He
sure.
is.
I'm sure.
Chris.
This
It is
may
Pepe,
have-
right?
It's probably not the first time he's been called Pee-Pee.
Probably not. And an old dear friend of mine. He's not old, but he's a dear friend of mine. Len, who's been around the Long Island music scene forever. Between managing clubs and working the door and being an owner of clubs. And this week we have on Joey, the J Effect Luongo, who has... Joey, how long have you been around in this scene?
You know, doing solo only the last 10 years, but
Okay.
my history on Long Island goes back to 1988 with bands and so forth. So,
Okay.
but I had left. I moved to Los Angeles for a while, so I wasn't here. Came back at it, but within, I've been here forever.
Yeah.
Just
What
like
part of
everybody.
LA were you in?
What was that?
What part of LA were you in?
I lived. It was Los Angeles. I had a Mar Vista zip code, but I was
Okay.
5 minutes outside of like the industry, Playa and Marina Del Rey.
Yeah.
'Cause everything goes on over there. So
Yeah. I was San Fernando Valley and
Oh, yeah.
I worked downtown. Yeah.
mm,
So I was there from 87 to 95.
yeah,
Got to play all the places, did the Whiskey, the Cazares, the Troubadour, got to do all that. Had a lot of fun.
Wow,
lot of fun.
legendary.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff. So so Joey is basically a single artist. Do you still play with Mel?
no, we haven't. She's busy. She has Panic and Wild Heart and Best Shot. So no, we used to do Leather and Lace, but basically I've been doing sound for them for Panic, but I'm also
Right.
doing my solo one-man band show depending upon the venue.
Right. Yeah, you've been doing that for a while. Good stuff, man.
That's it's. I think this year 10 years. It's been 10 years of doing that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
So I'll put on a little bit of a video for you, and let's see.
Out of touch, out of time.
Transition.
My
Okay.
head when you're not around. You're out of touch,
Yeah,
out
a
of
little
time.
bit of 80s inspired me.
My head when you're not around. Whoa, whoa.
He being one of my favorite singers.
Yeah.
Now,
Good stuff.
You're out of touch, out of time. Out of my head when you're not around. You're out of
All right. I'm just gonna pause that because I can't control the volume on that feed. Yeah, Hall & Oates is one of my favorites, man. I love that shit. Love
yeah,
that.
Hall & Oates just happened to be a little bit maybe at the wrong time because they get. I mean, I think now at the time people realized, but at the time they were kind of lumped in an 80s thing, and probably their music kind of went that direction as well, and
Yeah.
process.
But everybody- everybody pretty much went that direction then. I mean, I remember there was one night driving home though, and you forget, right, what Hall & Oates really was. And I heard a live version of She's Gone.
Yeah.
And it
that
is
song
so,
kills.
It is so fucking good live with the full band, you know, with G.E. Smith and T-Bone.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and they lay back and they bring it up and they lay back. The band was outstanding. I mean, you can, you know, to actually Method of Modern Love, to actually write a song like that is brilliant too. But She's Gone, it sounded just, it gave you chills because it was so good. And you forget because, you know, Your Kiss Is On My List, you know, which is, again, these are great songs, but you overheard them, and they were kind of the 80s lilt when really these guys were an R&B band from Philadelphia, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know.
Definitely
So-
had more soul in them than a lot of the other bands, especially coming out of the 80s. I think that they just, you know, kind of had their time during the 80s that they kind of played up to it. But
Yeah,
still,
exactly. Yeah.
like a Billy Joel or an Elton John, if you went to one of their shows, every one of their songs that they did, or at least most of them, were hits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, hats off to them.
Yeah.
2 hours of hits, 3 hours of hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, right?
You know, it's hard to believe that Daryl Hall was actually going to be considered to sing in Van Halen
That I
Oh,
did
you-
not know.
I didn't know that either.
at one time. He was actually considered to replace Sammy Hagar.
I'm just
Imagine
trying
how
to
that would have sounded.
Just trying to get it in my head.
I'm trying to, really.
Yeah. How does that work?
Well, I got to do the math this week.
Yeah.
You know, he's
So, well, let's do a couple of quick shout outs. We've got a couple of people chiming in to say hi. We have Ed Shin, of course, who's been
Hey,
really
Ed.
good about, hey, Ed. Ed's a great photographer, great
Someone's going to
supporter of
teach him about
music.
social distancing.
Yeah. I don't know. That guy. He's way too away. Tom Fetzer is in again. So, hey, Tom.
The Admiral.
I've been chatting. Yeah, I've been chatting a little bit with him.
Hey, Joey,
Um,
Tom's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Tom.
Was
Happy
he?
Oh, Tom,
birthday,
happy
Tom.
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday, Tom. There we go. I'm probably
Thank you,
typing
guys.
wrong because I'm way too vain to put my fucking glasses on.
I know.
I'm
I'm
like squinting at the screen, like, what?
I'm reading the chat too, and I'm going to do this in a second.
Yeah, I know, right? I need a thing to block out the camera while I catch up on the screen. I got it.
It's funny,
I'm,
before we started, we all got our glasses on. But as
yeah,
soon
I
as
got it
we
on the
start
phone.
going-
I got it up on I got another screen over to the right, so I'm looking over to the side there.
Yeah, I'm mounting a bigger monitor this week, so I can have it right up in front of me, so I don't have to do this.
Yeah. Oh, the Admiral is 65. Big number. Big number.
Yes, yeah.
So, all right. So, all right. Let's talk about business. So, Joey,
Business.
about how many? So I know you work a lot. About how
Yeah.
on a
I
typical
have-
year? What? How many? Or typical week or in a month? Give us a range of how many days, because I know you do a lot of do the
I mean-
restaurant scene and the bar scene.
Yeah, I had figured it out actually. I had cut back recently, but on the average,
Mhm.
probably from 2010, it's just playing 3 to 5 shows a week every week for the last 10 years.
Yeah,
So I don't know,
a lot of shows. man.
2,000 shows.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gutting it, you know.
yeah. Do you have another day job?
I've been in and out of jobs.
Okay.
I have a job, but actually I work overnight,
Okay.
and I
Right.
am essential.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look. All right. You got the four of us essentials here.
Well, it's food, so we're
Yeah.
essential.
Yeah. Yeah. Lenny's in the food industry, and Tommy and I are both in healthcare. So.
But
Yeah.
but yeah,
And no matter, I'm actually not an OBGYN no matter what I've told people.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You know, we're gynecologists, amateur, but still.
Still. All All right, so I imagine everything with you has come to a complete halt, Joey. Right? There's no gigs.
Yeah,
Right?
there's
There is no
nothing
gigs.
going on. I mean, it is what it is. Every gig is maybe some of there's some on the books. Maybe I still don't know if some of May's not going to happen. Maybe late May. Maybe I don't know what.
Maybe.
I
Yeah,
just
I don't
don't know
know.
what's in their head.
Right.
I mean, we could get into that, but I don't know where you really want to go with that. To me, open it up. Open it
Yeah.
up
I hear you.
and let people take the risk or not take the risk. I'll leave it there.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
that's just how I feel at this point.
Okay.
I mean, you can't forever. You can't wait for the vaccine. You can't wait for this. You can't wait. I mean, if it was up to some people, look at what they did to the real guys. No gigs till 2021. All tours are off till 2021.
Right.
Some of those guys. I mean, look at a David Crosby. Just because he's Crosby from Crosby still doesn't mean he has money in his pocket.
No, definitely not.
He's crying that all his gigs were canceled.
Yeah.
Well, it's crews, right? So you got crews, and on top of that, you got the maintenance people in these places, and
Exactly.
you got the vendors in these
Yeah.
places, and you got the dudes selling the merch outside of the gate. That guy's fucked.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
I know. I understand totally.
Absolutely.
I mean, we are home of the brave. I mean, I don't mean to sound so, all American, but
Right. Right.
it's like I feel like let's open this up, and if you want to take the risk, you take the risk. You want to stay home, you stay home. It is what it is.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. But anyway.
Right. Do you? Part of the reason why I wanted to have Joey on because I missed some of the chat and I thought he had some great thoughts
some
up
good
in the
points.
chat last week, and then I'm looking at it backwards like but this will give us a perfect opportunity to bring him on. So,
You want
so
me to touch on
let's-
that again then? Because I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we didn't get to get our 2 cents in it. It was good that you
Well-
brought it up, but nobody on the chat. Obviously we don't have that many people in the chat, so if we can
I
discuss
just
it here, it's
think,
great.
like, to reiterate, like Tommy said, I totally am on the page with him. I think people want the music, and maybe even the venues that they want the music, but monetarily, I don't know if they're immediately gonna have that money available since
Right.
their business has been crap right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna have 2 days a week. Like I said, $1,600 for 2 days a week for the month. I don't know if they're going to have that. Are they going to want to put that there or wait till they get a foothold again? People.
Yeah.
And are
exactly.
people, I mean, I know people say they're going to come out, but I have a feeling there's still a lot of people, the fear is going to rule. I don't know
Yeah.
how busy these places are going to be. But that's just me, it's speculation right now. But what do you guys think,
Right. Well, not only that, I also think that once they open up, for example, like let's say a local place that we know, and I know you've played as well, is Rudy's, right?
Yes.
A nice place to play. Owner is fantastic to the artists that play in there. Really
Great food.
superb guy. Oh yeah. This is not a paid commercial, but the best wings in Long Island. I love. I'm still going down there once a week to buy food. That's the only place I'm buying my food from, is going down to Mike's and getting food. But he will come back because he's a great guy, and he will have bands again. But will he right away? Because when they open the restaurants back up, are they going to require a certain distance now? So they're not going to be able to fit everybody in it at those tables. We're going to have there's going to be 6 feet between the tables. Like, what are they going to do here?
Happen?
Yeah,
Are they
and
gonna
then with that, obviously the restaurants aren't going to be making as much money. And as Joey
And
pointed
wait
out,
staffs.
the first place they're going to
Wait staff.
cut would be the live music, because if you used to having 100 people in a venue and you can only get 25, are you going to pay any of your profit to a musician?
Because the
Well-
venue's not gonna depend. They're not gonna
Right.
oh well, they'll definitely bring people. They're not going to rely on that.
No.
You don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And a place, like a
That's tough.
bigger stage, like 89 North, are they gonna, 25%
I mean,
of the capacity, 50% of the capacity?
What's going to happen? Are they going to take, let's say, a place like Rudy's? Is it going to be like plexiglass in between the tables, apart?
Yeah,
Are
I
they
wish
gonna
I had
bring in-
stock in plexiglass right now. Jesus.
Are they going to bring in
I know.
half capacity?
It would be lovely if we heard from some of these owners.
Okay, we're back on.
Okay,
So
so
they're not going to say anything until they get the green light from the government.
Yeah,
that they can open.
exactly, yeah.
So
Right.
I'm sure they're thinking exactly what we're talking about now. But my question is going to be: do you bring back the cheap band and only like bring in like less people just kind of get it going, or do you go right away and get like the big band that costs a lot of money? Regardless of which way you go with that, I think that the financial landscape is going to change forever.
yeah,
Think so?
I think that
Yeah.
you're right
You know?
about that.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get, the panics or the billboards or anything right away. I think you're going to try and look at doing stuff where it's, a couple of $100 investment instead of,
Or even
Sure,
have
the
a guy
larger
like
one, you
Joey,
think?
who's basically a one-man show.
yeah.
All right, we have some music, we have the drinks going, and we can only bring X amount of people. So let's run with that for a while until things
Right.
hopefully get to the point where they used to be.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I mean, what are you gonna? The hard part is you can't just bring in a DJ because you don't want people crowding a dance floor. Right?
Yeah,
Right.
So you're gonna want to try and have music and background music, and then there are the places that are really hardcore music that really like music, like Barbecue in Patchogue, right, where
Mhm.
the owner loves music and that's what he does. He brings them in. Lenny,
Right.
you were passionate about the music too. So I mean, what would you do at this point? I mean, would you feel as though you could bring people in or not?
we would, like anybody else, we would try. As soon as we are given the green light, we're going to try to figure something out and just probably just go slow and kind of build it. Get people's trust to want to come back in. Nobody really wants to come in to a crowded place, which we all desire to have. I think
Right.
it's just going to be slow going, and then through the course of time, once we develop the trust and everything seems to be going okay, we can almost get back to where we were.
Right.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I
not
think-
But
gonna,
right now, I think our approach would be that we would just go slow and not go for the big token A-tier band, which is ideally what you want. But I don't think that would be a smart move.
Right.
And I feel bad
Yeah.
for those bands because I don't think they're going to be getting that kind of money anytime soon.
Because as you're
No.
saying, like, to allude to that point, the amount of people they'll bring in may not even be allowed in the venue anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
what do you do? Do you I know that I've been hearing these rumors about virtual concerts in parking lots. Where
Yeah.
everybody's outside, they got some distance. I mean, and what's going to happen with the beach places?
Right. Well, I think the beach, they'll probably be a little more lenient on the beach places because the outdoors.
and it's the easiest to
Yeah.
open. I mean, it takes
Yeah.
nothing for them to open.
Right.
Yeah.
And you basically have, you could tape off areas or something, but who's really going to be policing that stuff,
Right. You have a few lines set up, cordoned off to the bar. You have
Yeah.
one bartender who's, working that line, and the people are staying back a bit.
Right.
And outdoors, it's a little bit better. In I don't know. We're social beasts. That's
Yeah.
the challenge too. We to keep us down. I mean, over 40 days is hard enough. I mean, Noah was on the ark for that long, right? Jesus
Right.
in the desert. We need people.
Well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean it to bring it to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's like,
You had to go with the Noah thing.
wow.
Skip that.
It made me think about shit.
Yeah, I
Vagina.
think the beach places will have a better shot at it. They may just have to like plant more temporary bars and have
Right.
a line, so only kind of forego instead of having like the one big bar where everyone is waiting 3 deep to get a drink.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So Tom is chiming in here. He says
Okay,
if
let's
they
go.
can only be 50% capacity, they can't afford to pay bands.
Yeah, well, he's right.
Right.
Real, that's the thing.
But
Yeah.
you
Right.
just have original music then.
And he said our stream was freezing, but we did get that taken care of. Also, he said the lines to buy drinks at the beaches would be horrendous.
Well, yeah,
So-
he's right there too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Always have been, right? Every time I've played at one of the beach places, it's I have to get a couple of drinks set up before I go on.
I mean, basically, I'll make an analogy. I don't know if you've had to. Have you had to think about going to a bank, Joey, or anybody lately?
No. Everything is ATM for me or
Okay,
online.
well,
Yeah.
this is my point. Like, people, I passed one of my banks, and
Mhm.
so there's some drive-throughs that are open. And anybody that has to go in there, the line is it. Remember when we had the gas problem?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Whatever, 10 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
This is what it is right here. This is what it would be for those drinks too. This
Yeah.
is what's ahead. It's gonna be people are gonna have to probably realize they're gonna have to have a little bit of patience and be happy that they're just out at all.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then eventually we'll get used to the new system, but it's not going to be the same as it was. It's going to be altered forever, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're outdoors, you have your live music, and you're going to be able to get your drink. So however they decide is the best and fastest way to go about that is, we'll get used to it, I'm sure.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
We have to. So I mean, because this is the new different. We're not going to go right back, and it's not going to be the same.
Right.
I mean, we have to. I mean, much as we would love to get the gig economy kick-started really quickly, again, because Joey and I have talked about this on the show already. Having jobs and doing what we do, we do what we do because we're passionate about it, right? And the gig money for us just buys us more shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we're just gear junkies. I mean, look behind Joey there. You see, he's a Marshall junkie and guitars and amps, and I'm a pedal junkie, and I just like Les Pauls, so I just keep buying Les Pauls.
But they're always black.
They're always black.
They have to get into the house somehow.
Right. So now I'm working on getting a black Explorer and trying to figure out how that's going to work in here.
Yeah, you just
What's
say it
that?
fell down. It's got a bruise.
I got this one cheap. It was all cut up.
It broke. Oh, here we go.
Is he coming?
Yeah, he's coming in.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going, man?
how you guys
Make him
doing?
a square.
Good to see you. Good to see
What's
you.
happening?
How you doing, man?
Doing
Good to see
okay.
you.
What about you guys?
Good. So let's reintroduce you since we actually have our audio shit together now.
Nice.
We had such a good show with you, such a good show,
Oh, yeah.
and the audio was complete shit. But
Oh,
now
man.
we've actually got our audio shit together.
It happens.
So,
you got
that's-
to work out the bugs.
Jason
Dude.
Liebman from Jason L Music is up here now.
Nothing matters. Look at his hair.
Came in from work. I came in from worth of garage work. Okay.
And no hairdressers.
So Jason, we have Joey Luongo is on here too. He's like a one-man project. Like he plays in a lot of restaurants and stuff like that.
Nice.
What's up, Jason? How are you, man?
So we did hear through the grapevine that you had a recent gig this week.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Virtual gig.
I've been doing. I actually had a few this week. One of them was especially. There were a lot of people on it. I've been getting like regular clients of mine and stuff like that. Now that we're in this kind of extended space of quarantine, folks, who have, gatherings or little like cocktail parties via Zoom and things like that. So I've just been having people ask like if I'll play for an hour because I've been doing this thing where like I'll share a song on my social media platforms on Saturday nights, just like one song, and it
Right.
started out one person who I've played for a few times over the years was seeing those videos and said, "Hey, like we're doing this family thing this weekend. Any chance you could kind of set up the way you do for those videos and play some songs for us?"
Right.
So I did that, and then like someone else who it's like all these other things. It's like someone else who was on that thing was like, "Hey, we're going to do this with a bunch of friends of ours for a cocktail party. Can you sing for us?"
Right.
So it just turned in, and then
So
this
good.
client, this corporate client was doing a big, like they're in the financial sector, and I guess that, this has been a particularly trying and stressful time for them because they have a lot of clients who are in dire straits. So these folks have been working overtime. So they had 500 people from across the country on this Zoom call with like these, the national chair people of these financial groups to just kind of like thank everybody, yada yada, and then one of their national event planners. I've worked with. I've done some gigs for these folks. So they were like, "We want you to play for like an hour and a half." It's just like a kind of like a group event kind of thing. So it's bizarre 'cause I'm not like, unlike right now where I'm on the call and I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
When I do things, the phone is like over there filming me the same way I make my videos.
Right.
So just like across the room
Yeah.
from the phone playing to like the wall
Right.
thing or anything. But I
Yeah.
have
Original music.
like one person kind of running the call, and in between songs, I'll be like, "Cool, somebody requested the Stones," or something like.
Wow.
So it's bizarre. It's like a new paradigm, but that was a uniquely large gather. I've done two of these now where there were like a few hundred people on the thing at the same time.
Okay.
Most of them have been, I would say, like 30 people or less. But this one was really big. I think there were like 500 people on it or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just to catch everybody up, Jason is a full-time musician, right? This is your job.
Yeah.
So you got hit the worst out of us anyway.
I was gonna say, it shows how smart I am. As like with some,
Yeah, I tried that for a while. I got really tired of eating AM PM hamburgers in LA.
yeah, when you start going, oh, maybe when everybody was going, you should have something to fall back on. They weren't totally like off their rocker.
No,
They weren't
yeah,
wrong. Damn it.
yeah.
I know. I dated really well for years as a musician, and so that worked out really well for me until
When I was out in LA, I got really lucky and well, not really. 5 of us in our household. There was 6 of us living in the house. It was the band and the lady who's now my wife. We were all living in the lady who was now my wife. Yeah, at least she was a lady. We 5 of us worked at the same place. It was a telemarketing place. Brilliant, right? And the one of the guy, he couldn't get, they didn't hire him, so he was working at the AM/PM, which if you're from New York, you don't know what an AM/PM is. It's like a low level bodega.
Okay.
Really bad. Like if you take 7-Eleven, yeah.
It's like a 6:30 a.m. till midnight.
Yeah, it's like the difference between Sonic and Checkers. There's the difference. Between 7-Eleven and AM/PM. Okay.
What's great is that you just gave bodegas like a higher class value.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we all the company that we worked for, the 5 of us went out of business. So and you get you don't get paid every 2 weeks. So we were completely fucked. And the singer was working at the AM/PM, and we would go in there at night and just raid the fucking place and eat the worst fucking food. I remember eating, we ate ramen so much that we actually just ate ramen and ketchup to make it seem like we were having spaghetti one night. That's how bad it was.
That's bad.
So
I lived in a
Yeah, you could live like that now, right? That's the scary part. Except I remember you saying you had recently bought a house, correct?
Well, yeah, we bought this house. I think we're starting our seventh year now. I think
Okay.
we've been full six. It's either 5 or 6 years. I always kind of forget what year we moved here. It's either we either just finished 5 or just finished 6, but we just refinanced
Okay.
right before we started. So like April 1st was supposed to be the first payment on our refi, and
Good timing. Great timing.
well,
You know, like,
now I'm like everybody else. I'm like, I'll worry about this later.
Yeah. Yeah.
do I have to pay this month?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna give me the bank was like, okay, well, since you called, you have a 3 month grace period. Now they don't mean grace period. I mean, at the end of 4 months, as of right now, I got to make a full payment. But my thing was like, if you don't if I don't have to give you money this month, I'm not going to.
Right.
Like we don't need a check. Okay, so I won't give you one.
That's great. Okay.
You know.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll worry about it later.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we're not doing bad in time too. So you have more things lined up. Do you see any potential openings for you?
I have more of these Zoom gigs like over the course of the next few weeks. That they're so low maintenance, and other than these ones where they have to coordinate nationally, where there's 100 or in this case 500 people on it. A lot of them are, I mean, most of them are scheduled in advance, but a few of them are kind of like, hey, we're thinking of doing this thing on Friday. Would you be available? If can we let you know Friday if we're going to do it? And if I don't have something planned, then so they're pretty what's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty flexible, it's pretty loose, but I do have a few for the next couple weeks. But beyond that, I actually still have, in fact, I have on my to-do list, like there's still clients I have who are, as far as I know, still have events planned for like the first couple weeks of June. I don't see how that's going to happen. So I have to reach out to them to find out what the deal's going to be.
Right. I think everybody's kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. So hopefully you get some of those gigs stick. Hopefully.
I hope so too. But the other bad scenario is that, and I've had this. Like I had a couple people, cancel some things that were scheduled even for mid and late June, and I had taken deposits, so I had to give them the deposits back. But it's a much bigger deal if someone, if like 3 people who have things scheduled for the second week of June, that's the week before go, all right, we're gonna have to cancel, and then suddenly I've got to give 4 deposits back at the same time.
Right.
That will be me paying my mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to. I feel like it behooves me to just kind of know or get a sense of where their headspace is at, even if they're on the fence.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, at least it's. I guess it's good at least here that you got something going on. At least these Zoom things will help. You were giving lessons too. How are those going?
Those are cool. Like
Okay.
I've actually had it's weird. I guess because people just need ways to fill the time. I've had a lot of people actually reach out about lessons. In fact, I think I've taken on 5 or 6 new.
That's because we sent them all to you.
Yeah, we did.
Actually, you have been mentioned on 3 or 4 of our shows because we had to pull that show that you were on last time. The audio was so bad, so we kept mentioning you on the shows.
You have to send me an invoice for your cut.
Yeah, we will. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Now we're all essential, so we're still making paychecks. I wouldn't even feel right about that. But you can. Well, maybe we'll give you one of our shirts to wear or something.
I can do that. That'll work for me. But yeah, I think there's like 5 or 6 new people that I've been teaching. So that's good. It's not like unlike I think I mentioned the first time we spoke. Some of my friends who are full-time musicians and who don't have any other source of income at all.
Right.
I don't know what they're doing. So at least those little things, which is usually the money that I use to just that's usually like my recreational money. But now it's the essential money. But at least there's something there.
Right.
I have friends that I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know.
Okay, so recreational money. We're talking about cocaine and hookers, right?
100%.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason wouldn't be on the show if he wasn't one of us. Just
Yeah.
so you
Okay.
know.
Recreational money.
Exactly. Exactly.
So so talking to a few people, outside of here who are full-time people who don't do what you do, right? Who are just live players, right? And it's amazing that I haven't heard hide nor hair of some of them. Nothing posted, nothing, not sitting in front of it with a Venmo. A few of our friends who do this haven't done that.
Yeah.
And it's concerning, some of them,
Yeah.
but
They're doing. They're like, there's a few people who have just been dead silent, and my assumption is that they're just dealing with whatever they need to deal with. But like, I have not been doing the Facebook Live thing and stuff like that. I understand why people are doing it, and I think it's great that they're doing it. I don't know, like maybe like I would consider doing something like that. And I like the fact that some folks who are doing it are doing like, opening it up for tips and things like that. I mean, I don't personally have the impulse to do that, but it seems like a great resource for those folks like you were talking about who are full-time musicians who have nothing else going on. Like if you need some cash and you're one of the 8 zillion people trying to get unemployment, why not, knowing that you have like a supportive community of people who are your fans and friends, why not, do that a couple times a week and see if you can, make a few $100s or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I know Randy Jackson's doing that. I know he's doing the Facebook Live with the tip thing.
My buddy
George
Mike
Cintron's
Barry
doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, Cintron, Mike Barry, Del Judas is doing it too, right? Isn't he he's got a couple of things going on?
Yeah, he's got a couple
too?
things going on. I see him. They
Again, I don't want to mention the people who I haven't seen,
right.
But maybe I should just reach out to them on the side and see what they're up to, because we're supposed to check in on everybody anyway, especially the people who are, we're semi introverts, but we're not the introverts like some of our friends are, who should probably be out there and try and maybe give them a push and have them on here. Maybe we'll talk about that, Joey, you and I.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy you mentioned is the guy from Big Shot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah. He's been around long. Hey, he plays in Billy Joel's band too. So.
Yeah, I know, which is the strangest thing.
Yeah, he's in the tribute band and plays in the band. Yeah.
Like if you're gonna have a tribute band, that's pretty much the best result that you can get of your.
That is the apex, the zenith of that. It'd be like, if I was a really great rhythm guitar player just joining AC/DC, being in a cover band, I was like, you know what, all I need is this to, just all day long, just rock steady and heavy.
Yeah.
That movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg, I love that movie, and
Great movie.
basically the plot.
It's such fun. It really is fun, and the guys who are in the band, it's fucking great. You're cracking up because it's Zakk Wylde and Jason Bonham, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. What's his name from Third Eye Blind?
Oh, that's that movie. Steven. It's either Steven. No, Steven Perkins is in Jane's Addiction. Steven Jenkins.
Yeah, Jenkins, and he's just as much of a dick in real life, which is awesome. He played himself.
I don't know him at all, but that'd be pretty funny if he was exactly the same as his character.
That's fun.
Wow.
So, anyway, I do like him, so fuck him.
All right. So we're getting close to the end of the show. So before we do the FUs, Joey, what's your favorite gear that you're using?
I use a Taylor
Mm-hmm.
and little Mackie board. And actually, I just changed the speakers. They're brand new. I think they're altos, maybe. Is that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm so not like that. Like, I like what I hear when something sounds good to me. I'm so into sound. Like a name doesn't really. Right. I got to get JBL because they're JBL. But alto speakers, Mackie. I don't really use any there's certain pedals. I have the Digitech Live Vocalist.
Yeah.
And I have the Beat Buddy, which is awesome. The Beat Buddy is.
How do you like that? I've seen that
Yeah, I
around.
don't
I've
know.
never used one.
I love it.
Good.
I love it. I mean, I know there's I know purists on the island, yada yada. There's a lot of hate for it.
Yeah, wow.
You know, I mean, but it's like, hey,
There's always haters.
yeah, they really fixed it, and the bits in it. It's just such pleasant sounds, and they're real drummers. It's not like somebody hit an 808 back in the day and with
Right.
fingers. They're real drummers that recorded these sounds and they put them into the box, and they didn't quantize them either, which means they left that little bit.
Okay.
So they're real. It's real. And
Yeah.
what's also cool about the beat, one more thing, I know you got time. What's cool is if there's a beat you like, but it's not the drum kit that it's in the box, and you can change that beat to a drum kit that you want, one of the other drum kits that are in there, which is really awesome. You know, I
Right.
mean, the thing is just great for anybody that wants to, because I use it out live, but it's really a good songwriting tool as well.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. You know, you can put everything to reach fruition right in front of you. You know,
Right. Very good. All right, Jason, your gear this week. What do you got?
Like what am I using for?
Oh,
gear?
what are you using? What
What are you
just give us a
digging
piece of gear you'd like to talk about for a second.
Oh, I mean, I guess I could give a shout out to the guy who makes, since we're talking about live gear, like the stuff that I've been using for these Zoom gigs has actually gone over really well. So I should give a shout out to Lou Hinckley from Daedalus Speakers who makes my speakers, because they're pretty badass, and I really appreciate everything he does. He's an extremely cool dude. He's a really great guy, and the stuff he makes is just it's peerless in terms of like what it is like for its application. There's nothing on its level. So shout out to Lou Hinckley of Daedalus Speakers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tom, Len, either one of you got a piece of gear you want to talk about this week?
Well, I'm just going to talk about the Gibson Flying V guitar. I recently I got mine out and I started dealing with it, and it's just fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
It's got like the characteristics, its own neck. It's got a great bite. It's great. It's got the chunky tones if you want to do the hard rock thing, but it also flick the switch and you got like a nice blues tone.
Right.
So I've been digging on that for about all week, and very, very happy.
Good.
They strangely sound really good, which is
Right?
amazing.
And it's fantastic. Well balanced. It's
Yeah,
bright. It's got
actually, all right.
it's got some bite to it, and it's all deck.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of wood yours is made with? Is it
Well, the next rosewood,
It's probably mahogany, right? I think it's
and
a
I'm not
Gibson,
sure what
right?
the body is.
It's
Yeah,
probably
probably
the
mahogany.
one.
Yeah.
Mahogany.
That a Carino, right?
Well, the old ones were Carina. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's not that. This is a reissue of a '67.
okay.
I got it in '93.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just probably it's badass guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
Tommy,
cool.
you?
Those ones are cool. I don't know. I finally the board is all wired up. I did that finally. Got that piece together. I got a couple of things that still need to be wired.
Right. Yeah.
Just-
See,
just
that
to
board is about the weight of a Volkswagen, right?
I know.
Something
Is
wrong
this
with
the
it, dude.
second board?
Yeah.
This is the big one. So I
Yeah.
finally finished it, put everything on there, and the so it's got two of the Voodoo Labs power supplies, so that weighs, and I got the talk box on it, so that is not light, that piece of equipment. Everything else is
Right.
okay, but the board and everything, but it covers everything. It's just one thing, and then I got the smaller boards for quick gigs, and I checked those, and they work with all the amps and stuff. And the only thing with the big board is if I'm using the Jubilee, I use the Tube Screamer because it likes that, and if I use the JCM, I use the OCD because it likes that. So it's the subtle mid difference between those two amps depends upon But anyway, I have them both in the same loop, and I just turn one on and turn it off, and it's actually pretty cool. One thing I did realize though, I have the Boss chorus at about 6th position, and it's actually a good place because the Boss definitely has the what is it called? Not the boost, but the
Buffer.
Yeah. Buffer. Yeah, so it has the buffer, so I can actually, I can hear that kick in when I actually use that particular loop on the loop pedal. So that's pretty neat. I probably am gonna have to put a buffer on it. I'll probably mount it underneath and just keep it on, be after the fuzz, because the fuzz hates everything. So. So that's pretty much done. And then, again, like I said, the little boards have just the same shit, only smaller. So.
Right.
Yeah, you can't buffer a fuzz pedal. You should never put buffers before any gain pedals. And you should put your...
No. Yeah. Right. And the what am I using? The Octafuzz from Bulltone hates everything. In fact, it hates the... It actually hates the wah pedal if it's on. You can't
after a wah pedal either.
Yeah.
It's got.
It hates that, but everything else everything else is actually pretty happy.
So you want to ever check? If you want like something worth checking out, like if you like using a wah pedal before a fuzz pedal, and you have come to the realization that everybody comes to, which is that that's an impossible thing to do. So there's a company called the Gig Rig, and the makes power supplies different than the Voodoo Labs. So they make something called a modular power supply. So what it does is it has like you have a main power supply. I think their power supply does like 5,000 milliamps. So like even if you use digital pedals, it's got more than enough supply. Right. Then what it does is you can run individual current draws to each pedal, and then you can build into. They have a really unique system. You should look it up online. I forget if it's rig.com, but you can buy individual buffers that are fuzz friendly, that are wah friendly, and stuff like that, so that you can power your pedals individually with buffered supplies or non-buffered supplies, so you can run these pedals without some of the problems that we generally tend to run into with these things. You should check it out.
Well, that's very cool because knowing what likes what, right? So again, the two drives, like the two different Marshalls, right? So there's all sorts of things that need to be addressed as far as this goes. And a lot of people don't know it, and you make a good point. For somehow a wah going into a fuzz face worked for Hendrix, so it doesn't work for anybody else. So,
the sounds that you hear on those records, like it's not when you like if you ever listen to Hendrix live, it doesn't sound like it did on the record. Like live, it sounded like a completely different thing. He had like, one of the things that like we don't think about like is they had terrible cables and like way too long. I mean, all the stuff that they were using was the stuff that you and I use. It's the same way that like our phone has more computing power than the computers that sent the spaceship to the moon.
Absolutely.
The average cable that you and I buy at Guitar Center is 1,000 times better than like what those things that they were using back then. But if you listen to those recordings, I mean, the way that they were getting those sounds on record and the sound that we think of are not the same as the sounds that they were getting live. Like if you listen to Hendrix at the Isle of Wight, it doesn't sound like Are You Experienced?
Right.
So there are. It's funny. I mean, they're using carbon batteries.
Yeah. Well, that's a sound for some of those things. There are still pedals, by the way, that recommend that you use carbon power supplies.
You'll have to see my battery collection when you get here.
Yeah, he's
I've
out
got-
of his mind.
I'm insane with batteries.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, this is great information. I think people are going to appreciate what we're talking about here, at least the people who like us, as far
Yeah.
as what.
Except Tom, who says he has no idea what we've said in the last 5 minutes. I'll talk real briefly on my gear of the week. I was asked to do a recording for Don Waller. I did.
Great job, by the way.
Thanks. I did a memo from Turner.
Fabulous.
Not well known. Well, I'll also tie this into my fuck you this week, but I ended up using a Supro Black Magic, so I did want to do a quick shout out to Dave Colty for bringing Supro back. There's something special about that amp, man. I love that amp.
Before this used Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, that's exactly. And because of that fucker, I ended up getting the boost pedal too, and that boost into that amp is amazing.
Which boost?
It's the Supro Boost. It's
yeah.
that's like the only boost pedal I'm using, and I have way too many pedals in my board, but I'm using that one. All right, so I'm gonna actually start the fuck you this week. All right, I usually wait till the last, but because of Memo from Turn, I want to say fuck you to Ry Cooder for being so goddamn good on the slide. Holy shit, fuck that guy. You know, so I ended up doing my own little version of it. You know, I did, you know, it's the song, but I am not Ry Cooder by any means. So that's my fuck you. That's my fuck you. Joey, who are we saying fuck you to?
This week, I'm kind of associated with him sometimes, and he's just so. As far as singers go, he's probably best of the generation, and I think he's just as good or better than just the generations before him. Fuck you, Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
He's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
He fell in the shit.
How about you, Jason? Who are you saying fuck you to this week?
So the idea is that the fuck you is like
It's a
way
compliment. It's a compliment. Absolutely.
So I will piggyback on your Ry Cooder fuck you, because the only person I've heard since Ry Cooder who I just listen to and go, you're from another planet, and you're phenomenal and amazing, and you're probably the only person who can carry that torch, is a guy named Blake Mills.
Okay. Wow.
Blake is one of my favorite guitar players to listen to, and songwriters to listen to, and producers to listen to, probably in the last 20 years. He's amazing. So I will say fuck you to Blake Mills, because he has nothing but my eternal respect.
Wow. All right. All right. Lenny?
Well, I was going to go with Pete Thorne again this week, because I just saw another video that he did about 3 years ago where he was actually kind of candid. It was with one of his buddies, and they were just getting tones from like all the super shredders from the 80s, and he just fucking nailed everything like it was, like, you know, like it was nothing. So
right,
he gets the ultimate fuck you, but the other fuck you I want to give are to you and Tommy.
The fuck did I do now?
You guys. For doing such an awesome show and for having me on.
Thanks.
And just having a great idea and running with it.
Thanks. All right, Tommy, what do you got?
Great time, thank you. Well, since I had to study a little bit of Linda Ronstadt yesterday and today.
Okay.
That, by the way, I really like the videos that you've been making with Laureen. They sound really nice.
Thanks, dude. I will share them with this as soon as I feel it. I think I told Joey the reason we're doing this is just to see how much we can tolerate of each other before we actually fucking kill each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Waddy Wattel.
Oh, fuck.
Dude.
That fucking guy.
As a young man in the 70s, holy shit. I mean, still great now.
Yeah.
But watching some of this shit, he's out of hand good. And just another guy who looks like he's not doing anything, right? But he's just playing nothing perfectly. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know.
Yeah. Really fuck him bad, because I've seen him live probably 10 to 12 times.
I saw him with Keith.
Yeah. I've seen my wife's a huge Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac fan, so
Yeah.
he's been her guitar player forever. So I've seen him so many times.
And I saw him with Warren Zevon, and that just was a show that just can't be.
Oh yeah,
people don't
absolutely.
really understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so fuck him. And so he's got. I saw him a few years ago. He was doing a rig rundown, and he had some Black Star amps, and I'm like, wow, those are really good. And all of a sudden, he's got, oh yeah, these are non-master volume custom ones. Like these are they're just 100-watt Marshalls.
Yeah, yeah, that's all he's using. Yeah,
and he's got no pedals, and he's just killing it. So
yeah,
fuck Waddy.
Yep. All right, so I want to I'm gonna close this out. I'm actually gonna put on one of Jason's videos. I'm gonna put on one of his original songs.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So we are gonna be up in the corner, so we can talk while it's on. But let's start first. I'm gonna transition over. So.
Well, there are nights.
And by the way, fuck you for singing like this. Holy shit.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind.
Yeah.
She's the dusty dog, slow and still.
There you are. Right.
Undercover, a secret lover, and her favorite art. And what your girlfriend don't know is she got some competition. There's a girl out there, she's on a mission. And what your girlfriend don't know is she got some competition.
I'm just gonna lower down a little bit. I did want to mention something also that Ed Warner did remind us of. Good friend of ours and the co-singer in Melissa's band, Gary, lost his daughter this week.
To COVID-19?
There's gonna be listed that she's had cancer for a long time. They knew it was gonna happen.
How old is this person? Or was this person?
She was young, not yeah. Sad to hear. He knew it was gonna happen at some point.
That's awful.
But yeah, it is. Absolutely.
That's just so sad.
So Gary, our love to you, man.
Yeah, Gary. If you need to reach out, I'm in Northwell. You can find me.
Absolutely. So
That's heartbreaking.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Nice song, Jason. Jesus.
Thanks, man. What song is it?
Yeah.
What song you playing?
Oh yeah, we're doing What Your Girlfriend Don't Know.
Thanks, man. My wife hates that.
Oh yeah. It's beautiful, man.
Better play Jenny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna bring us back. So I'm gonna take a quick look at if there's anything else. Anybody else got anything for us before we leave today?
Plug your merch.
Oh yeah. In down
Links.
below,
got a link?
we
Links.
have a link to the merch, MRG, with this weird lettering that I came up with from, I don't know where I came up from. But it is actually high quality stuff. It's the same place that does the Grimjack merch. I love it. The quality is great stuff. I have a long sleeve black tee on, and I got a sweatshirt from there. And we do a sale like once a month, so I'll put another sale back up if you want. But hit links. Please follow the guys here. Follow Joey. Joey's great to go see live. I've gone to see him. We've played on stage a few times together. Remember, we did a couple things in Crossover way back in the day.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think we just lost the stream again anyway. Look at that. Just lost the stream. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'll make sure I have your links down below. And
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm